Hey everyone, welcome to Tried and Tested. Today's video is going to be yet another Empties video. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and do turn on the notification bell so that you are notified every single time I post a new video. So today I'm going to be talking about all the fragrances that I have emptied out over these last few months. And as always, irrespective of my opinions, I'll share links to all of them down in the description bar below in case you are interested to check them out. Also, another thing I want to mention before I can actually get on with this video is that fragrances are very subjective. So in no way do I intend to offend anyone in case there is a fragrance that I don't like. So the first one in here is by UCB. It's the Rose Edition. This is a 50 ml bottle and it's priced at 1400. Now it's got a ton of notes in here. So there's honeysuckle, orange, jasmine, frangipani, musk, coconut milk and woody notes. It came out in 2019 and it is described to be a floral fragrance. Now previously I used to be a fan of UCB fragrances. However, off late I don't like them as much. When it comes to this fragrance in particular, the jasmine note in there kind of overpowers the other notes. And also I would get a hint of frangipani along the way. I fail to understand why they would call this the Rose Edition considering there is no rose in the list of notes at all. For those of you who like jasmine scents, you would probably appreciate this fragrance better. I, on the other hand, am not a fan of jasmine scented products. So to me, I found this fragrance to be a bit boring. However, there's something nice that I have to say. And I would say that because I found this scent to be boring during the day, I switched to using it at night right before I hit the bed. And my opinion sort of changed because I felt like it was a more calming and relaxing fragrance for the night. So to me, this comes off as a perfect bedtime scent. When it comes to the longevity, I would rate this a 3 out of 5. I think it has a pretty decent lasting. However, with the projection or the sillage, I would rate it a 2.5 on 5. It's definitely not the best compared to other UCB perfumes that I've used. So the next happens to be one of my favorites and I was a little disappointed when it got over. This one is called Burberry Her. I had the 30 ml bottle with me and it's priced at 3,700. You do get it on Nykaa, but it's currently out of stock. So if you want to buy it, you can always check out Sephora or Shopper Stop. I'm sure you'll find it there. I'm not going to go into the details about this perfume because I already covered it in one of my fragrance collections video that I did in the past. In case you haven't checked that video out, I'll leave the link up on screen for you. But long story short, this was a very berry scented perfume that had a slight burnt woody dry down. Now if you check out the recent reviews on Fragrantica, you'll see that a lot of people aren't really happy with this scent, and I feel that it's because when there's a lot of hype created around a certain product, people automatically have very high expectations from it, which is what happened to me when I tried out the next perfume that I'm about to talk about in a couple of minutes. But irrespective of others' opinions, I really like this fragrance and I definitely see myself repurchasing this in the future. When it comes to the projection, I would rate this a 3.5 on 5. I think it has a scope of doing much better. However, the lasting, I would rate it a 4 out of 5. It would last on me for a couple of hours. So the next fragrance that I finished using is called Good Girl, and this one is by Carolina Herrera. This came out in 2016 and it's described as an amber floral fragrance. Now there are a ton of notes in here. To name a few, there is coffee, almond, vanilla, patchouli, orange blossom, etc. In total, it has a list of 20 notes. So if you are interested, you can always go on to Nykaa or any other website that you wish to purchase this from. The notes are always listed in their description box. I feel that a lot of people are drawn to this perfume because of the black shaped stiletto bottle that it comes in. When it comes to the fragrance, for me, this is definitely a sweet, oriental, somewhat edible kind of scent. The opening is what I like the most, but as it dries down, I found it to be a bit, I don't know how to say it, scratchy and kind of unpleasant. Well, it's not a bad scent, but again, because of the hype created around it, I was expecting it to be a lot better. Projection wise, it does do a pretty great job. Like, it's a 4.5 on 5 for me. Longevity is also pretty good, but I would give it a 4 out of 5. So if you are interested to test this out, but you are unsure of how it's going to be and you don't want to spend that much, I suggest that you buy the 10 ml travel spray bottle that's there currently on Nykaa and I think a couple of other websites, but you'll have to check that out. I wish they had launched the travel sprays when I purchased this because I probably would have bought that instead. Then fragrance number 4 is the Tuscan Green Body Splash by Layers Water Girl. This is the 125 ml bottle and it was priced at rupees 221. So it's said to have green and aquatic notes along with peach, cherry, musk, sandalwood and amber. If I ever smell a fragrance similar to this, then it's always going to remind me of Monsoon's 2021. Not that anything eventful happened during that period, but I was using it right from June to the first week of September every night. In other words, this also lasts for a really long time. I strangely get some apple note in here, considering there's no apple in the list of notes. It is a fruity sweet scent, but it's not like your typical sweet berry sort of scents, which is what I like about it. My major issue with this fragrance is that I find the alcohol content in here to be a little too much. Like on initial spray, I had to hold my breath for some time because I would find it very strong and suffocating, and that sort of ruins the overall experience. I mean, if it was not for that, then I would have definitely considered repurchasing this in the future. Performance wise, for a body spray and the price you pay, I think it does a pretty fair job. I would rate it a 3.5 on both the projection and the longevity. Up next is a fragrance from the Body Shop. This is the Vanilla EDT. Again, I had the 30 ml bottle and this one was priced at 1045. Now it's got just one note in here, which is vanilla. It came out in 2012 and is described as an amber vanilla fragrance. This also is a sweet fragrance. However, I was taken a bit by surprise because I would get a hint of some floral note in there, and for me that floral note was none other than jasmine. I didn't see a lot of reviews mention this, so maybe it's just me. It's not one of the best vanilla fragrances that I've owned, but at the same time it's not terrible. And once again, for the price you pay, I think that the performance is really good. Like, I'd give it a 4.5 on the projection and a 4 out of 5 on the longevity. So we are almost coming to the end of this video because I just have one last fragrance to talk about. Now this one I'm currently using and I have very little left, which is why I thought of including it in my empties. This is again by UCB. It's called Dream Big and it's the men's edition. It retails for 1400 for a 50 ml bottle. This has got woody notes and citruses and it's described as a woody aromatic fragrance. So after I finish using this, I'm going to take a break from UCB perfumes. Clearly, I did not like this at all. It's a little too spicy for my liking. It also reminds me of another fragrance that I've used in the past, which again I wasn't a fan of. I think when it comes to men's fragrances, I prefer those that have like aquatic notes. Performance wise also, this was a major letdown. Like, I'd give it a 2.5 on 5 for the longevity, and for the projection it's a 2 out of 5. So with that, we have come to the end of this video. Those were all the fragrances that I finished using up. Now most of the fragrances that I purchase are blind buys, which is why it is always going to be a hit or miss for me. I would love to know what are your favorite perfumes. Also, if you have any recommendations, please feel free to let me know down in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share it across with your friends and family. Please continue to stay safe wherever you are, and I should hopefully see you in another video sometime soon.